What?
That is
You're on a huge bet, and I tell everyone else to go against it when there's no reason. I cannot fucking touch it. I could just be like, go your team, go your bet. I have no blood in the game. You could just say, yo, you're my friend. I want you to win money. I'm just not going to touch it.
Good evening, degenerates, and welcome back to what we have a huge week in store for you. 3 episodes coming.
3!
The Wednesday. Go ahead, Mike.
Trace Monos.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's
Mike,
3 hands. No, continue.
Go ahead.
No,
Mike,
please.
Go ahead.
So we got 3 episodes coming at you, but first we're gonna kick it off with a Wednesday recap. Talk about some earlier bowl games in the week. Nobody, people care, but it has a little bit less care, and then we're gonna bang right into Thursday. Full slate, 1.5 million games, the most games we've ever talked about, and then roll it into Friday, and then bang. But first, let's get into a Wednesday recap.
As so eloquently introduced by Mr. Yoon over there.
We swear he doesn't have Tourette's.
No, it's me.
We just got to let him go sometimes when he gets
Dang.
going. This is the Wednesday Roundup, and we are going to recap everything that happened, starting with the Mortal Locks. So our Mortal Lock parlay, we had 2 games on Saturday. It started off hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
We were hot.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, Air Force plus the 2.
Shout out, Kyle.
Shout out, Kyle.
All right, win.
Money
Outright
line.
win. You won your Mortal by 20 points, 20 something.
Oh, yeah.
I had Duke plus 7.5.
Never.
All right,
Oh, I love
Dude,
that.
Saturday was
Never
such
a
good
doubt.
day.
They were never behind in
Never
the entire game. They won by 7. So
That was the easiest.
My Mortal Lock, easy hit. I go to 9-9 on the year. Mike's Mortal Lock.
impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Also-
I started 1-5.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Way-
take 9-9.
way to come back.
I'll take 9-9. Mike's Mortal Locks now
Also-
9-9 as well.
Bang.
Ooh, 50-50.
So we're
50-50.
both moving. College football is doing
We're
us
moving
right.
in the right direction.
Mario, the Bears dominated the Cardinals.
He's back.
Dominated.
I mean,
So
Domination.
back. So back. You're now 12-6 on the year. 2 games ahead of anyone else from first place in the Mortals.
Good
Dude,
stuff.
yeah.
there we go.
That was a pretty good pick.
That's really awesome.
Betting against the Cardinals and you've been betting against the Cardinals and the Panthers. It's usually a good strategy.
It's a good
No,
strategy.
it's sharp.
It's a good strategy. It's been working out pretty well.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 that hit, and we were looking good. We're like, oh my gosh, this could be the week.
This could
And
be
then we
the
got to Tate's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tate bet the under in the Commanders-Jets game.
Yeah, dead at halftime, but it was cool.
Dead at halftime.
Dead
in the
at
first
halftime.
5
Dead in the first
minutes,
quarter.
there were 17 points
Yeah,
scored.
it was awesome.
First 5 minutes.
Yeah.
First time all year.
Under was 37.5.
Shout out Commanders defense.
I mean, there was...
That
Yeah.
was.
It was...
They were playing.
Shout
They were
out
out
Brees
there. They
Hall.
were
Shout out
definitely-
Brees Hall.
they were on
Shout out
the
Brees
field.
Hall.
That
Commanders
Mortal...
defense was on the field.
I've never
that's all I
seen a
needed.
never live, so never live. Like
yeah,
Mario,
yeah,
like
never
2
live.
weeks ago, Mario had the Cowboys plus the points, and we're like, oh, that was a bummer pick. But at least in the 3rd and 4th quarter, you're like, oh, maybe they
turn
can
it
come
around.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get some juice.
At halftime, the Mortal was 3 points away from hitting. They had 34 points at halftime.
We needed a scoreless
It was never gonna happen.
second half, which
Never gonna happen.
It was awesome.
You moved to 10-8 on the year, so you're still in 2nd place. But Mike and I are right on your heels. Mario has
Bark,
a nice
bark.
lead. And then on Monday, Ryan had the Eagles minus 12. They won the game, but it wasn't pretty. They did not cover.
That was rough.
oh, dude,
It felt really good. They were up 23 and decided the opening kickoff butt fumble when the Giants haven't got
Yeah, they
past the
ran into
50-yard
each other.
line.
Yeah.
That hurt. And then Jalen Hurts threw an 80-yard pick 6. It was just weird. I would make the bet 10 times out of 10 times. It moved all the way to 14.5 for the game.
Yeah.
So got a great number, just unfortunately. And at the end of the game, still could have pushed.
Yeah, no, there was a lot going on in that game. The Eagles, I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to the NFL
it's
picks,
gonna
but
be dangerous.
they do not like holding on to leads or having leads.
Even
in the
trying
first
to win
place.
games
They
at this
just-
point.
they
Yeah, really.
have not looked like they've really wanted to go after
anything.
a lot of teams right now. But yeah, so Mortals went 3-2 last week. Parlay did not hit. It started out really hot though. Let's hit a Mortal. We got to hit one.
Maybe we should
Yeah,
call
well, I
them
mean, we
college.
say that.
I know
all the time,
college has
but-
been
Get it out
booming.
quick.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be the
forts.
week. We got a lot of college games this week.
Yeah.
So I think some Mortals might be more college heavy than
cards.
pro heavy. We'll see what happens.
cards.
Stay tuned for the Thursday episode for the Mortal Lock Parlay, the free roll that we give you to win over $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
If we hit.
For the cards last week, let's quickly go over everything. College, I was 3-3, so not great, but my two biggest bets were Duke, my mortal, and then Air Force. So
The Force.
made money in college. It was good.
Great week.
I'm now 49.8% on the season. One game below 500. This is the week we end college football above 500.
Yeah,
for both things.
there
I'm
we
so
go.
feeling
There you
it.
go.
NFL, I'm finally above 500 on a week.
There we go.
I've been
Dang.
pushing every single week, like 500. 5-4 this week. So huge week.
Oh, huge week.
Huge week for me. I'm now 51% on the year. Total 180, 178, and 9, 50.3%.
Love it.
So I'll take it. We'll take it. Ryan, reading these numbers doesn't feel real
Yeah, it feels
Yeah,
weird,
it's
doesn't it?
compared to the percentage.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
You gave out 16 college games.
I hit.
You won.
I hit 25%.
You won 4 of them. 4 and 12
You
for
only
college.
hit 25%.
That was a
rough.
wild week.
I think I needed one. I needed one to just snipe me.
This was
Finch is good all
yeah.
year.
This was just a clean flush.
Yeah, I needed one. This week.
It was a
went for the
humbler.
head.
It was a
He'll be
humble.
back next week. He'll be
Yeah.
back.
It was an ego check.
You're still.
Yeah, I was too cocky.
It is very impressive, however, that you went 4 and 12, but you're still 53% on the year.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
that's-
I
that's-
needed one to get me like, all right, chill. You're not God. Like, you
Yeah.
suck too.
Yeah.
NFL also below 500, 7, 8, and 1, 52% on the
That's
year.
not bad. NFL's
So
great.
yeah, rough week overall. You're now 232, 206, and 10, 53% of the season.
Still pushing, baby.
This guy.
I want to finish at 55%, so I want to end strong.
It's got to be a big week.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah,
a big
it's
week.
gotta be
I
a
gotta
big
bounce
week.
back.
Tate, rather pedestrian week for you.
The most pedestrian.
Yeah, 3 and 4 in college, 52% on the season. 3 and 5 NFL, 48% for NFL on the year. So you're kind of going down in the NFL ranks.
Yeah.
It's been
NFL
tough on
has
the
been
streets.
bad.
You're one game above 500. 167, 166, and 10 for 50.1%.
Yeah, I might just quit on NFL football and only bet college.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've been leaning
seriously,
towards.
yeah.
I got a lot of college games this week.
Lots of college.
I should probably quit betting.
Overall, I don't think anyone would disagree.
Yeah,
Mike, 2 and 4 in college, so a big week for college. Big week for you in college. Improves to 47% on the year. 3 and 7 NFL.
Yeah.
So 48% NFL. 133, 147, and 5 for astonishingly amazing 47%. You're 14 games below 500.
No, yeah, it's funny because I always have this number in my mind every week. I'm like, all right, I have to get this many wins to get to 500.
You got to sweep.
And that distance, the distance just keeps going.
Yeah, he's got a lot of games. He's got to sweep.
Dude, it's
The
like,
lights fading away.
dude, it's just
The
like
tunnel just gets
the
longer.
eternal expansion of the universe.
It was 8
It's
games
just,
last week. It's
Yeah.
14 games this week.
Yeah, it's getting tough in these streets for you. Maybe tone it back a little bit. I'm assuming you have a smaller college card.
no, I'm ramping it up way higher.
Ramping it up.
Way,
Yeah.
just,
So you have to. Yeah.
I have like
Yeah.
triple.
You gotta go for
Bang.
broke.
Yeah, I have
gotta
like
go for broke.
triple the picks I.
That
No,
makes
I love
sense.
it. I love
That's
it.
good.
I have the
That's
past
good.
few weeks.
That's on par. And lastly, Mario, good week in college, 4 and 2 on the college
There we
card.
go.
That kid.
51% on the year in college. So you're chugging along there. 7, 1 NFL, 50% in the NFL
Yep.
overall. 194, 187, and 7, 51%.
That's
of the year.
crazy.
There we go.
Where you started?
Dude, what a bounce.
Who would
back.
have thought we'd
Finally
be
got
here?
up.
You know what
Yeah, I mean, you're over 50% in both college and NFL and are leading in Mortal Lock. So I'd say this has been a very successful season to date
Yeah.
so far.
Yep,
Profit.
I love it.
Profit. That's profit. But there's how we did last week.
I'm in the red.
We have a couple. You are in the red. We have a couple things to talk about on the NFL front before we move into early bowl game picks this week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk some NFL. A lot happened in the NFL last week, and I want to start with the Monday games because there was 3 games on Monday, and I have a headline I want to hit on for all of them. First, we got to talk Kansas City Chiefs. We have to start with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas shitty Chiefs.
Kansas Shitty Chiefs. You
Yeah.
took the words literally
Bang.
out of my mouth.
Bang.
They collapsed against the Raiders. Absolutely collapsed. Patrick Mahomes, I mean,
Run
say what
for
you
his
want.
life.
He had some spectacular plays where on like the last touchdown, he escaped a sack, barely made like a really tight throw for a touchdown. But you take the whole game together. I mean, he was bad.
Terrible.
He was really bad. The pick six was awful.
That was-
That was,
That was the first time in a while.
It was one of
That
the
was
worst
definitely- yeah.
Patrick Mahomes decisions
Picks.
I've seen.
Yeah.
Not even throw, just like decisions.
Yeah.
The corner was right there. He threw the same pick six to that same corner last year.
yeah.
It's pretty
Deja vu.
ridiculous.
I do got a pick six
The
last
week before too. Yeah.
One-hander.
You see, he
He's
took
eating.
the ball away from the baby.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
Kid,
that was,
yeah.
that was
To the
messed
He
kid.
like
up.
offered it to
That
a
was
kid and
messed
then
up.
like took it away.
That's
from
pretty hard. I like
Grinch.
it.
That's
Bring
what-
that was messed up.
rivalries
People
back.
were like, "Oh, this guy's such a piece of shit," and then another guy commented and was like, "No, this is character building. That guy now hates the Raiders."
Yeah, that's how it should
Like that
be.
kid will hate the Raiders for the rest of his life.
As he should.
You think like the OG
Yeah.
like Steelers Ravens games, if like Troy Polamalu or like James Harrison gets a pick six, they're handing it to a Ravens fan.
Oh, yeah.
No, you punch that baby in the face.
Jeez.
You do what you have to do. Further the rivalry.
Yeah, kill the child.
But yeah, on the,
Murder him.
Let's put it in timeout.
No. That's one. That's
Dude,
one
strike.
warning for Mike. He gets 3 total. That's 1 strike.
Yeah.
2 more come. You're
Two
sitting
more
on timeout.
death
But we need you on
Yeah.
the we need you on the panel to talk some of this stuff. So
I feel like that wasn't
on the lines of the Chiefs collapse, you've been saying all year you're not worried about the Chiefs. You have to be worried now.
No,
How?
still not worried.
How?
What
Dude, their offense is so bad.
Bro, what
How?
makes you not worried?
This is the Iowa Hawkeye.
Dude,
or
I've
Ohio
been saying that
Hawkeyes.
this is the first year in NFL where I think there is a lot of like every week teams lose and win, and it's all about like weekly. You just remember what happened last week. Like I still think the Niners are good after losing to the Ravens. I still think the Eagles are good after not playing too well. I still think a lot of things are fine, and playoff football will come. Same thing with the Bills. So everyone said they were done on the playoffs.
I get some
I
of
think
those.
there's a lot of spread, and they had a bad week, and their offense doesn't look great.
That's all I want to talk about is their offense because we've said throughout. I've been saying for weeks now, red alert. Their offense is terrible.
Yeah.
Their offense with Patrick Mahomes doing his best is rough.
Terrible.
Like bad.
I mean,
100%
it's
agree.
all feet.
But
there's just feet, no hands, just feet everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
That's a bar. Whatever that means.
yeah.
But I just think that I have to be proved. It's a stubborn thing. I have to be proved wrong in the playoffs.
Sure.
Like,
And-
let Mahomes
yeah.
lose in the playoffs. These games, to me, I mean, I don't think they're not getting the 1 seed, so none of these games really matter. I think they'll easily win their division. So they'll have to play a Dolphins team or maybe like
Patrick
Warriors
Mahomes
team.
never played an away playoff game.
Yep.
I know. It'll
Oh,
be
So
that's actually
this is
pretty
the first year there will not be only. I mean, they still technically could not play an away game if
theoretically correct. Yeah.
if the
Ravens
team that gets the
lose
bye
and-
loses and they're the highest seed remaining. I highly doubt that's the case.
Yeah, not gonna
But yeah, and then I mean, just to talk about the Raiders for a sec, they're not out of the playoff contention. Their interim head coach has these boys playing crazy.
they move
Dude.
around.
No, I mean he has a defense strapped.
They got to
Yeah.
hire him full time right now.
No, they literally.
Yeah.
Is it Alex
Give
Pierce?
him a
Right?
bag.
Antonio.
Antonio
They
Pierce.
just need a quarterback.
He just reminds me of you because you hear all the time like LA is a Raiders town.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like I know the Rams came back, but like, dude, the people love the Raiders in LA.
Yeah.
And like, dude, straight out of Compton, he grew up like watching the Raiders. Like, he's kind of bringing back the, like you said, the identity a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not going to give it to a Chiefs fan. Like, no, you're going to take it away. Like, we're the Raiders. Like, they went out there and they just straight up bullied that team. Like, they're like,
Their defense
they
is
did.
insane.
they just said like we're gonna get physical and like you can't handle it.
No, facts.
and literally just like they didn't even care about like football. Like that was just like
They made
that was
the Chiefs'
straight
offensive line
mentality.
look
You could tell
silly.
that coach got those players like ready to play.
Was it 4 or 5 defensive touchdowns in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
the first half of football for the Raiders against the Chiefs were just. I mean, they had their offensive line looking silly.
yeah,
And I think there was this is another game Max Crosby played every snap.
he's
He's the only
not
defensive
surprised.
end that's done it more than once. This is his 8th game now that he's played every snap. The only other defensive end that's played every snap in a game is TJ Watt. He's done it once.
shout out TJ Watt.
Oh my
Only
god!
one
Crosby's
time.
a
No, Max Crosby's literally
that's
he's
insane.
built different.
He's so good, and he does not like Patrick Mahomes.
He doesn't like anyone. That's why I love
Yeah,
him. Like
his
They
head
definitely
is
have a
never down.
rivalry going.
Like,
Yeah.
like he's not out there to hurt people, but he's just gonna he's gonna come at you. Like it's football. Like
Yeah.
it's not friendly. I hate you see it more in the NBA where like, oh, like
They're getting soft.
we're gonna be best friends after you beat me. Like
Oh, the NBA has completely lost its
but like
old school
I
identity.
love like just like old fashioned sports. Like leave it on the field, but like I'm gonna go out there and like no friends.
No, yeah.
Brian
Yeah,
Dawkins
yeah.
style.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to play.
Yeah.
You brought up the 49ers. I want to move to them. Brock Purdy completely fumbled the MVP talks. He was minus 200 before the game. After the game, plus 2,000.
I love
4 interceptions against the Ravens. Lamar now the clear MVP favorite. They got smacked by the Ravens.
Really quick, you know who didn't get smacked is the guy who sold his prop bet at plus 10,000. He had like a $2,000 bet on
Yeah,
Brock
to win
Purdy to win
200K.
MVP.
100 to win, that's
Yep.
sharp.
Sold it for 125K.
That's
And
I mean the
oh
best
my
cash
God,
out ever.
the greatest cash out
And
of all
greatest
same
time.
game, McCaffrey 5 to win 500,000. And he
Oh
got
yeah, that was
sick.
that was
Shout out
And
crazy.
McCaffrey now second in MVP,
in MVP
odds.
voting. Yeah.
Which he should have been first on the 49ers, I said before last week,
Yeah.
because I never thought Brock Purdy was a legit MVP candidate. I don't think he's bad, but there's just no way you can put their success on him.
You have to give it to Lamar, bro. Lamar looked untouchable
He looked
against
so
one of the best
good.
defensive lines in the game.
I agree, but I also saw something that was kind of interesting. If Lamar were to win MVP, obviously stats depending on how his last 2 games are, but it would be the worst statistical season for an MVP quarterback.
Yeah.
ever.
But that's why I like giving to him because he's been throwing to literally no one. His best wide receiver's a rookie and his best weapon got hurt. His other best weapon tore his ACL. Like,
Zay Flowers is
Yeah, also not to mention,
Zay
this
Flowers
is the
is
most
mid.
injured quarterback year ever.
Yo, the quarterbacks this year overall are
So, like,
terrible.
no,
Yeah.
it's the worst.
That's why I'm surprised Tua's not higher on the MVP odds because I don't think Tua should be MVP, but
I think they watch
he-
him without Tyreek Hill and then it just answers their question.
yeah, because it's just like he is leading the NFL in pass yards. He does have the highest completion percentage. Like
Yep.
Dolphins have a good record. They're first in their division. Like
I feel like eye test. We watched Lamar yesterday against that Niners.
no, I
team
mean
in
he's
San
clearly
Francisco.
better than
mean,
Tua.
Oh, for sure.
He literally
And
has that.
For me, my picks always for the last few weeks has been McCaffrey. There's been no quarterback that's like I felt deserves it.
Yeah.
No player in the NFL to me deserves it more than Christian McCaffrey.
And he's the most dominant and explosive player
Yeah.
in the league by a mile.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's unbelievable. I think the Lamar MVP thing has a lot to do also with the story of what happened last season. How he was undecided where he was going to play, opened it up to teams making
Nobody
offers.
said
Not
anything.
one team reached out for an offer. They sign him, and then
the
all of a
number one
sudden,
seed without his best player.
and they're dominating the AFC, and they just beat the shit out of who everyone, including myself, think is the best team in the NFL.
Yep.
So yeah, I can get on board with the Lamar Jackson for MVP train, but that was a crazy game. I did not expect that to happen at all.
Weird thing
I
with
mean,
Brock Purdy, it just seems like anytime he turns the ball over too, he like gets in his head. And it's like I would love if there's like a live bet after he throws a pick to bet on him throwing another one. Because
The
it's
lights
almost
too
like
bright?
guaranteed. Like it's not even lights too bright. Like he was playing great. Like even that opening drive, like they looked phenomenal.
One bad reach.
And then literally one bad pass, and then he kind of like starts doubting himself, and then it's just like as soon as one turnover happens, the floodgates open, and like
Yeah.
2 or 3 more just follow.
I think that has a lot to do with being young and also not really playing in big games. If you think about it, he was injured in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Didn't have a chance to play those big games. This is probably the biggest game he'd ever played in.
Well, this is actually, I think the NFL said this is, I think the second time where the 2 best, like this late in the season, or maybe it was the first time. It was either the first or second time. This late in the season, the 2 teams with like the best records
Oh, that's what they were
Place-
saying. I think that last time was in like the 80s or 90s
or
or something.
pretty cool.
70s or
Yeah,
something.
like
Like it was like
Or
this
them
late
to
in the
play
season,
against,
like for
yeah.
teams to have like to be the number 1 seed, like it was like, yeah.
On that wavelength, it'll be interesting to watch how they play in the playoffs when they have
I
to
still
play
think
these big games.
I still think
because-
they're the best team.
I do too. But like you said, if he starts
lot
going on
of-
that death spiral,
Yeah.
you could have some of the more mature teams, the Jalen Hurts, the Dak Prescotts of the world.
I think the Ravens are the best team in football. I mean, their defense is that good. And I'm not messing with you. You can't stop Lamar. Like, they have no weapons. I can't get. I know you can say OBJ is a vet or like Zay Flowers or like likely. Like, they have no one. They don't have a crazy good running back. They don't have.
They don't have Chiefs. No one. They have
They
They don't have a
bottom-
star. They don't have a star.
I would say they
Average
have
NFL.
bottom 15.
average NFL
core.
Yeah, bottom 15, which is like mid
Yeah,
below.
I'm saying
No,
from-
Ravens.
I think
Ravens are like 1B for me. Like those were the 2 clear best teams without a doubt. It was just one of those games where like, dude, how many times do you see like a quarterback throw the ball and it's just batted like
so
straight
you're
into the ground?
saying like out of 10 games, it would be in the Niners' favor if they played 10 times.
Like
That's
probably
what
like
I think
6
so.
or like or maybe a wash. Like I don't know. Like it's just
fair.
like I don't think that score is indicative of the Ravens being that much better. Like it was like they made plays. I give them that 100%. But like they also like the breaks went their way. Like
Yeah.
the batted passes
No,
all
yeah.
went like to them.
No, yeah, and
You
that's
know,
the cool
it's
thing
crazy.
about football is that it's not 10 game series or like NBA
I
7
love that.
game.
No,
I
I
love
love
the
that.
playoffs. That's why,
and you get
especially
ready to
this
roll.
year, it feels different than every other year. The 1 seed looks like, okay, they're going to make it to the NFC Championship probably
Yeah.
no matter what. This year, everyone loses to everyone. It's
kind of a
crazy.
toss-up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Tate, you mentioned something in there that said you weren't surprised about the Ravens beating the 49ers. That's
No.
because you were riding every underdog for Monday night, right?
Yeah, no, I
And-
every underdog. It's now 10-0.
11 and
spread.
0. 11 and 0. 11 and 0.
I think it's 10. Oh no, 11.
I think it's 11. Yeah, Ryan's Mortal was the Eagles minus 12. Before the game, you sent in a text to our Degen Hours group chat saying, everyone hammer the Giants. It was
And
the
Ravens.
And
Yeah,
Ravens.
you're-
It was the first time anyone had ever publicly said hammer against someone's mortal. Can you walk me through that and how you thought that was appropriate?
I mean, something was 9-0, so I decided to point it out.
It was
Yeah, but it's not even just-
9-0 before the game. Before when I made the pick, it was 9-0 before the week.
Yeah.
Nothing was said.
No, I know, because there was 3 games on Monday, and I was like, oh, shoot. And I was like, well, there's no way all 3 are going to cover. And then the Raiders won outright against the Chiefs, which no one thought
There's
was
no way all 3 are going to cover, but I'm going to tell the group chat to hammer all
No, and then
3
the
covers.
first one did, and I was like, I mean, I love the Ravens. So
Yeah.
The only other pick that was
not to
the-
ride. You had no choice, but
You could have just not touched the side and been like, yo, what we've done all year out of respect and not scumbag energy. Hey, I'm just not going to pick it, but I have a feeling something could happen.
No, I mean, it wasn't my card, but then when the trend
well, it
was
wasn't
there,
on your card, and then
Yeah.
you saw
said to
Ryan
hammer
was
it.
mortaling it, and you said, everyone go against Ryan. Ryan's pick is stupid. This is a lock. I'm not riding
I don't
with
know
my
if he
friend.
said those exact words.
I definitely
That's what I read in between the lines. That's exactly
crazy.
what he
That's
said.
crazy.
That's pretty much what
Anyone
it was.
out there for Degen Pod for anything, ride with your boys if they have a pick. If we do mortal all-in pick,
Especially 'cause
always ride. Or just don't bet it, or don't touch it, or don't write anything.
Or just don't say in the chat.
after the game, bro, I literally said I don't like Troy and Duke. I literally told you guys I was on the
Yeah.
other side. Cross it off my card. Root for you guys the whole game.
Yeah, and then they
Common
won.
fucking
They
sense.
won because of the good spirit and the vibes
Yeah,
we gave. When
You
in
gotta
doubt,
have a big boost.
I could be okay. You can all laugh at me for taking a horrible pick after, but during the fucking game, it's
Or
my
like the
or
Chiefs
even
live bet.
before.
Like
Or
the Chiefs
before.
live bet.
yeah, fucking terrible pick. But it's like your Chiefs versus Bills when you guys picked against each other. Like,
Yeah.
you wait till after the game and say we don't like it, or your
yeah,
Cowboys.
you wait till after the game. Tate said, "I'm not waiting.
I'm gonna do it now.
Fuck you, Ryan."
Yeah, those are my exact words. It had to have been.
Whoa!
saying hammer the Giants. It was the biggest scumbag move I've seen in our podcast history. By a mile.
Ooh.
Right here,
Not
you
even
heard it.
close.
I'm the biggest scumbag in the world.
I mean, out of just common sense courtesy for gambling, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
am I the worst for liking the other side of a bet?
ooh.
Not like, dude, you don't. I just do not hear common sense. I just told them I like the other side of their bets.
Am I not allowed to like the other side of a bet?
Did you? But did I fucking tell him? I tell Mario we should hammer the other side and say fuck you to your friends on their biggest bet of the week.
You like the other side of people's bets, and you're like, I would love to hammer it, but I'm not going to because you're mortal.
That's out of good karma, good respect. I want them to win. I want my friends to win.
I didn't
You
bet
say
it.
fuck you.
Well,
I
you
want-
said hammer.
what
Yeah.
kind of like you?
I mean, to be fair, when I first read it, Raiders won outright, and he was like Monday underdog trend continues. Guess time to hammer Giants and Ravens.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like some banter. I don't know. Did you actually? I don't even know if you actually did do the bets.
No, well, I
You just
Well,
advised
that's
against
even
it.
fucking worse.
That- yeah.
That's quite literally
That
worse.
is worse. That
Than
is
just
way
telling your
worse.
friend to fuck off. You're a piece of shit.
no, because I was like,
And then not
I was
even
like-
making
I was
money
like,
off
oh,
it.
it's probably a good bet to bet the Giants and
Yeah.
the
He
Ravens
wanted you
because-
to live
because
flip.
it's
Save.
nine,
He wanted to
because
save
it's
you
9-0.
money. He
But
was
why
looking out for
mention it?
you.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
but
Because it's 9-0.
He was looking out for you.
Yeah.
but you're playing bad karma
It's all
into
right. No, it's
also.
okay. Some people just don't understand like being respectful. To
Some
like,
people aren't
gamblers.
riders. Some people aren't riders.
I mean,
Yeah.
we always pick mortals. This is our what 18th week.
we've
Mortals?
had 18. This is
18
going on
fucking
19.
weeks. No one's ever done this because it's like 100% scumbag thing. Don't put bad energy. Don't root against someone's pick. And you just say to hammer someone
Out loud. Don't root.
Yeah.
Like you just have a good team. I root for your picks. I'll stay at the parlay every time. I want us to hit every.
It was
At
already
no
dead.
point did I ever root for the Giants.
Ooh.
Oh, I mean,
He was just Ryan. I think
I
what he's
mean,
trying to say is.
other 5 texts.
I think
He
what
just-
I think what he's trying to say is he knew your pick was so bad. He was just trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
He was looking in your best interest, saying,
Hey,
"Unmortal,
jump
take-
off the ship. Swim to this ship.
fly to Vegas, reverse the ticket."
Like I said, some people scumbag energy.
Some people get
don't.
it, some people don't. I guess. I'm a rider. I rode.
No, thank you.
hey,
Yeah,
I also rode.
I rode the
also
Giants
rode.
so hard. It was great. No, I'm joking. I did.
No,
bet.
you guys all were. No one in the group chat fucking helped at all. Too.
I was helping.
What did he?
Hey,
rowing.
I was working.
rowing the boat.
No,
Yeah.
Kevin, cameraman, homie, said "fuck you, Tate." Don't
Tyler
worry.
sent the Drewski meme about the
Yeah,
the
no,
dancing.
all memes, no
it
real
was.
shit. I don't know.
I had
you
no
guys
part
can
in this
leave it in the
conversation.
comments if you think I'm just tripping. But like, if you have one pick and we pick mortals all year,
It's a big bet.
Never talk shit against it,
It's a big
and then all of a sudden randomly go against it. I just think that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I didn't talk shit. I never said anything. I never talk any shit.
I mean,
yeah.
Just facts.
He just
right?
said hammer the other
No,
side.
I literally just said,
Hammer
Just
the
bet
other
against
side.
hammer
it.
the other
Said-
That's
side.
literally telling you someone to fuck off. What don't you get?
wait, what?
That is
You're on a huge bet, and I tell everyone else to go against it when there's no reason. I cannot fucking touch it. I can just be like, go your team, go your bet. I have no blood in the game. You could just say, "Yo, you're my friend. I want you to win money. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna say.
Or-
I'm gonna say go.
You can say hammer the other side.
You can say go.
No, I just don't understand how that flipped into fuck you. That doesn't correlate.
Yeah.
I said
We're walking.
I said it was a good
Yeah.
bet.
No, I don't want to beat a
against-
dead
Notice
horse
how they're
here.
describing it and saying it. You said you're a piece of shit. Fuck
No,
you.
I don't
Like,
want to.
notice how they're not just saying hammer.
I don't
None of
know.
you guys
I didn't
said
want to
it.
bring this up. It just snuck up on me. But
Yeah, if
I don't
anyone wants a scumbag friend to go against your bets.
ooh,
Right here.
I don't
Number
want.
one.
Yeah. Speaking of.
And Michael, put a little thing that says scumbag up here.
Oh, it's been up there.
Scumbag, but hits his bet.
But it was sharp. But it was sharp.
But sharp. Sharp.
Sharp scumbag.
If you want to be a piece of shit, you can win. all
Sharp.
the
If you want to win money.
Scumbag.
Monday underdogs.
Whoa, which don't exist this week.
Yeah, there's no Mondays for you to.
You
No,
no,
they
they me
literally
on
fucked
Sunday
us.
night. It's perfect. They'll be on
Fucked
Sunday
us.
night.
They fucked us.
Yeah, they screwed us.
Yeah.
A couple more topics I want to hit in NFL. The Steelers found our savior.
Oh my god.
We found our guy, and one of us
Yeah.
had said this was going to happen.
Tough
I
week for Ryan.
believed in Mason Rudolph,
Yeah.
as I always have.
Yeah.
Wait.
I always have.
I have a
Always
theory. I have a theory really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
My theory is that Mason Rudolph played unbelievably well because Rudolph, and it was on Christmas
Had a
Eve.
feeling you were going there.
No, it was actually on
Saw that
Saturday. It was
coming.
on Saturday, but it was the weekend of Christmas.
Yeah.
And so Rudolph the Red
No, I
Nose,
think we
you
understand
know,
the
and so,
connection.
No,
at
yeah,
this point.
But
yeah, we
I
got
think
that. Let's
I
talk
think
football.
in general,
Yeah,
after
okay,
that,
back to
Ryan's
football.
probably going to go back to being right, and Rudolph is going to be dead.
Okay, so you think because Christmas is over, Rudolph's gone?
Yeah,
That's
All
a
right.
lot.
yeah, no
Could
more
be the
Rudolph.
headline.
Yeah, no, I was big on Mason Rudolph. I know we both want the same thing, the Steelers to win games. I was thinking for the last couple weeks he was our best option. At least last week he looked unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
It was the best quarterback Steelers game I'd seen in at least 2 years.
Like
Ever since
400
Kenny
yards
Pickett-
of
Yeah.
offense.
Can't really-
How do you view our team? Do you think we should stick with Mason? Because I know you were saying the problem was Mitch, which I didn't disagree with. But now that Mitch is gone, what's our best option going forward? Should we move back to Kenny or ride the hot
Well,
hand?
rule of thumb, never. It's like when you put in Nick Foles, never leave the hot hand. If
Yeah.
someone's playing well, leave him in. I personally watched all of Mason Rudolph ever play in a Steelers uniform, and there's maybe some flashes. I think this was a great spot for him. Maybe it was just, we beat up on the team as a whole, defense, offense, Najee, everything beat up on the team. Maybe he proves me wrong.
They were
and
missing some players too.
Hopefully it was just all for us, and I think everything on a home game, big game for us. I hope he proves me wrong, and I get to say, you're right. That would be fantastic if he pulls a Nick Foles and fucking goes crazy, and he could be our quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah.
We gave him almost a whole season to do so, and he didn't. So I'm worried to see in a playoff game if we keep him, if anything, what happen.
Yeah, the one thing that I like a lot about watching him play is he looked very calm. when he was playing for the Steelers pre Kenny Pickett time, he was very fresh in the league, a year or two removed from college. He was the leading passer in college. He was a little frazzled, as a lot of young quarterbacks are.
Yeah.
He sat the bench the last 2 years, came in for one game, and balled. So I agree. I think we should ride the hot hand. I saw an alert that said they might start Kenny this week. I think that would be a massive mistake.
They should.
Especially because...
Give Mason Rudolph a half at worst.
Well,
Give him the first half.
if he plays bad, then sure, move away. But the Steelers fans, they were chanting. Do you see all the chant, like Mason Rudolph chants, and like all the memes with Kenny Pickett was like looking at like the Homelander, where he's looking super pissed at him. I don't think it's even fair to Kenny to put him in right now,
No, I agree.
because that would be the ultimate death sentence.
Yeah.
If Mason plays great, they pull him. Then they put Kenny in. He
Yeah,
plays
he's-
bad. Then all of a sudden he's dead.
Yeah.
Like there's
Well,
you
he's
can-
the villain number one.
and you can't put him
yeah.
back in.
Yeah.
Like his confidence is gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Did you have an opinion on whether they should start Mason or not?
I think you should totally start Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
You have to ride the hot hand. You absolutely have to.
I think our team, if we can keep this up, I think the Steelers went out.
Well, yeah,
If he plays like that
shout
every week.
out if our defense also decides to step up at all. This was the first week in 8 weeks where we've actually looked like a defense.
I think
And
that
that was
was-
with the other team having no
I
players.
think that was a lot to do with the offense too. Because our defense had been on the field so much of the game. Dude, even Najee had a good game.
No, yeah.
He had
but
12 carries for
there's
78 yards.
There's games where your defense just has to step up and play the whole game. and
True.
be good.
I mean,
the
we have-
Raiders almost.
We have a big test
Yeah,
this
literally
week.
the Raiders.
They played the entire game.
Totally.
Aiden O'Connell didn't complete a pass after the first quarter.
Yeah.
They were also scoring touchdowns. That juices the boys a little bit.
Yes.
That gets them going.
Yes.
2 more things I want to talk about in NFL. The Jaguars are dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're dead.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
Dude,
dead,
they were
dead,
like
dead.
Number one spot in the AFC.
Yeah, they're 8
Now
and 3.
Are they in the play? Are they in the 6?
I think they're 8 and 7 now. Well, no, they're still technically leading the division.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Because the
Colts and
Texans
Texans
and the Colts lost, so there's 3 teams tied at 8 and 7 in that division. It's
crazy.
But oh my God, has that team collapsed? I mean,
A few weeks ago, you were like seriously looking at them having a 13-win season.
the 1 seed, they were 8 and 3.
Yeah.
They were like tied for the 1 seed.
And now it's.
I mean, yeah,
they're
now
like
it's
as
a game or two doesn't go their way these next 2 weeks, they could miss the playoffs.
I think they will. And
Wow.
The definition of
I'm the
down.
leader of the Trevor Lawrence fan club. So I've been, when he was the hottest quarterback in the NFL the last half of last season, I wouldn't shut up about it. Now I have to be very realistic, regardless of his injuries. I said this last week. If you're playing, we have to judge on what you do.
Yeah.
So he has whatever, the ankle injury, he was the concussion, and then this week apparently he like really hurt his shoulder and couldn't throw a football. So I don't even know if he'll go next week.
You know, we were laughing about when Christian Kirk first got his $1 trillion deal.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, we all laughed because we're like, who's Christian Kirk? I think that guy's the MVP of the offense. I think he's dying without him. Like the little passes, like the Tom Brady Edelman stuff. I think Trevor Lawrence without Christian Kirk is just mid.
I mean, Christian Kirk, as someone who had him in fantasy, literally every week, like you could just look at his stats. It's like 13 points, 12 points, 18
And
points.
it's all receptions.
And it's
Yep,
just
it's all
receptions. Like
receptions.
it's just
When
like
you need it 35.
He gets like
9 receptions for like anywhere from like 75 to 100 yards.
I mean, the Jags team, first off, their offensive line's terrible. Their
Yeah.
offensive line's really, really, really
Well,
bad.
he has no
known
time.
that.
Yeah,
and
he has
also,
no time.
well, we've known that, but it was made up for it without Zay Jones, and then most importantly, Christian Kirk. That offense is just left to die. And with Trevor hurt, not really able to move around,
And then
or
they can't
get
run the
throws,
ball.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that team is.
100. You'd bench him next week, right? No
Trevor?
matter what, even if he's a little hurt.
Well, you need to win. We said this
I
when
think
he
it
we said
could,
this when he
like,
first
switch
got hurt. I didn't think Trevor should have played the last 2 weeks. I think
Should
they
have
should
just
have.
recovered,
Yeah,
gotten fully healthy.
let him get better. If he's going to be
Yeah.
hobbling around playing like this, even if you make it to the playoffs, you're not winning a playoff game.
No, yeah.
The only chance you win is if he's ready. It doesn't look
Is
like
it the narrative that he's never missed a football game?
that's what he's apparently. What they're saying is that he's the one willing, like saying no, I'm playing.
Yeah.
That's
Because he's never missed a high school, college, or pro
Why
game.
teams don't do
that's
that. why
kind
you
of
need
the
to
first
coach.
thing my mind jumped to too. Is like I think his ego is kind of hindering himself from like recovering fully and sitting out a couple games.
Yeah.
Because he has this crazy stat of like, dude, I don't miss games. Like I'm the guy who plays
Maybe
every
he just
game. And
knows
it's like,
CJ Beathard is that bad.
Well, and I think it's tough for them now because the time to do that was when you're 8 and 3, 8 and 4.
Yeah, so
when
playoffs.
you maybe win a game with the backup. If not, you're in the same spot you are now, and then he's healthy. But now I don't really know if he can miss because if they don't win the next
it's
two
not
games,
like you have a bye week. You know,
no, if they don't win the
Yeah.
next two
Like-
games, they're probably out of the playoffs.
like the Bengals started off terrible. Joe Burrow was injured, but like they had a bye week,
Do
week
you
4.
think?
So
do
like,
you do the Beathard, like Mike Tomlin switched it up with Mason Rudolph? You do the Beathard thing where it's just put him in and try to let him get loose just for a game.
yeah, I mean he played last week, didn't look terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
At the
Like,
back half of the game, so.
it's the Panthers at home. Like you have a little room there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would run the ball 30 times and then try to play defense with CJ Beathard against the Panthers. I don't
like
think they'll
that.
win that game, though. Last topic I want to hit before we talk college football bowl games. The Dolphins-Cowboys game, really grimy game,
Yeah, end
but
of the
the
game.
Dolphins finally beat a good team.
yeah,
Jason Sanders last
made
time.
some great plays on defense.
Yeah. It was the first game I had looked at the Dolphins and been like, wow, they might win a playoff game. Every time I'd watch the Dolphins play a good team, like, there's no way they beat a playoff team.
Yeah.
There's just no way. But they handled the Cowboys. I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but they went like step for step with Cowboys, who are probably the third best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyone
And-
impressed by the Dolphins particularly?
I mean, okay, yes, I am impressed with the win because I think it is impressive regardless. Or the fact that they even kept it so close. But in my opinion, I think it was kind of a fluke win. On the very last drive, they were going, I think it was 3rd and 8, and there was a defensive, I think it was a holding call
Yeah,
that
two
pushed him like,
penalties on the last drive.
yeah, it was like, but it was massive. It literally pushed him up like 25 yards. And it was on 3rd down play. And it's like, dude, without that, they're not going into field goal range. They're not even like, they're probably not going to get that last few points. Cowboys win by 2 or whatever. And I mean, I don't know. I think if we run that whole series of plays again, I don't think there's that penalty. And I don't think they convert. So
Yeah, the
I
refs.
think those teams are very equal.
Yeah,
Very
it was a good game.
It was a
definitely
very
a
good game.
I think
I thought the play of the game was in the first quarter when that linebacker made that play on Tony Pollard not scoring. I've
never seen
a
wild.
running back not score.
I don't know. I
Why
don't know
did
if
he
that
just
was.
dive?
I don't know if that was linebacker making the play.
Like, it's him being-
He could have just run to the pylon
Or just
and
dive
scored.
low. Just dive low and put
Like,
the ball
Or
in.
literally just
anything.
lowered his shoulder. Like he went into that, not even like when they showed the replay, like you see running backs
vertical.
You see running backs like lower their shoulder and like try to go into the contact.
I agree. I think the game
And-
would have been a lot different because they lost all the points.
And they
Well,
fumbled
Well, I mean, they
on the
lost
next
by
play.
2.
Yeah.
And they
I'm
fumbled
saying
on the
they
next
didn't
play.
on the
And then
1
they
yard line,
fumbled
didn't
next
get a point.
play. Yeah, that's what I'm
7-0.
saying.
Cowboys going up. They had a stat when they go up there undefeated.
Yeah,
I know. And it's
There's
just like,
no Tony Pollard's just bad.
No, he's
I mean,
not.
he's just an average running back who is in a good spot.
Yeah.
That play told me everything I need to know about Tony Pollard.
Go
that's-
Gibbs.
when I saw that play, I was like, wow, I just had a feeling. I was like, that's going to be a massive play in this game.
Yeah,
And it-
Yep.
especially in games like those are playoff type games.
Yeah.
If you're in a
Every
playoff
point.
game, you don't score on the 1 yard line, and then you fumble on the next play. You're probably not going to win that game.
It's literally
That's
every
his-
point matters.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't.
But no, we talked a lot of NFL there.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
We got 3 bowl games. These are the Wednesday and Thursday bowl games this week. So they're coming out today and tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk all bowl games Friday on the New Year's 6 bowls and college football championship. So
yeah.
let's get into some college. We are coming at you hot, the first of 3 bowl games today.
Yeah.
First on the card, DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Louisville,
DTV.
USC. Big game.
Big game.
Big game for Louisville. And
game for
kind of a big game for Lincoln Riley as well. They're not going to have a lot of players on
future.
USC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisville, 7-point favorites, total 58.5. Tate, because this involves a Pac 12 team, I'm going to start with you. How do you feel about USC? No Caleb playing, potentially not a very good spot for USC to be in against the Louisville team that's kind of juiced up off making it to the ACC championship.
Yeah, no, Lincoln Riley stinks. USC stinks, especially without Caleb Williams. I think this is just the easiest Louisville spot ever. And no bias at all. I just hate USC.
Yep, no bias at all.
No bias. So
no
this
bias.
is Louisville the way easy way. I mean,
Yeah.
7, 10, whatever you want. I don't know who's going to play quarterback. I don't know who's going to catch the ball. It doesn't matter. USC stinks. Louisville, take the team total over, whatever you want. I mean, this is just free.
Yeah, I saw both of USC's leading receivers transferred away too.
Yeah, no, they
I mean,
just-
not like Mario Williams
running
ever
back.
did.
No, they
anything.
realize that Lincoln Riley he's not him.
Yeah, Ryan.
No, yeah, everyone on USC is transferring. Like literally every single person, and everyone on Louisville is staying actually, except the only person that's not playing for the future is their running back, Jawar Jordan. So they're going to be fine. They're
He's
going to
good.
ball. Yeah,
Yep.
they have a good backup too, so I'm not worried. But Brennan Armstrong's been balling. Oh wait, no, Brennan Armstrong, NC State. But Louisville's been balling, and I think they should kill him. USC's terrible.
Yeah, this might be a consensus pick based on the way I've heard things going. I love Louisville so much in this spot. USC is completely deflated. Not only are their fans completely off of everyone USC I know said,
Yeah.
dude, this team sucks. Lincoln Riley, worst hire ever. They're completely off the wagon. But Louisville, I mean, this is a good year for Louisville.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
not-
They had a great
10 and 3,
USC,
right?
this bowl game means nothing. If they win this bowl game for USC, it changes nothing about the narrative. Louisville had a good season, made it to an ACC championship.
They
that
played
they
hard.
haven't done in a while. They played a really tough defense.
Yeah.
Everyone on Louisville, for the most part, is playing. If they beat SC and win a bowl game, this is like a good year for Louisville. This is like they can hang their hat, show some recruits, be like, hey, we beat USC, we're in a bowl game. So I don't know. I love Louisville in this spot. I think this is a really lopsided game as far as intent goes. I do not think USC cares.
No.
I don't think they care at all, and I actually think Louisville cares a lot about this game. So easy Louisville -7 here. I would bet this number up a lot too. I would bet this really heavy. I do not think USC has the juice at all to even compete.
Yeah, no, I am staying on that bandwagon. I'm kind of a fan of Jeff Brom, the head coach, the more I read into him. I mean, he went to a 10-3 season. He and Louisville are also 2-3 in their past 3 bowl games. And continuing off what you said, I think USC has literally lost every single ounce and just like drip of momentum that they had at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
neutral.
they're dismantled. So, yeah, I'm all over Louisville. I'm also on the over a 58.5, mainly because I don't believe in USC's defense. Pac-12 defense doesn't exist, and I mean, there's just gonna be points.
Lincoln Riley can score
I
points,
just-
no matter who it is.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
He just loves points on both sides.
I don't mind that over.
He likes
at all.
giving away points too.
Yeah. Mario, is this consensus?
I don't know. I'll start with the total. I actually like the under. I don't believe in USC's defense a whole lot, but I just don't believe in Louisville's offense like a crazy amount to where like I think they're gonna like put up 40 points. Or
They
whatever.
had been averaging over 30 a game until they played FSU.
Yeah. It just seems like a weird spot. I know USC has no one, but it just seems like this is kind of for Lincoln Riley's job. Like you'd think, even though like he has next year in the bag, but like if he has another repeat year of last season, I don't know.
He's in trouble, yeah.
He's in deep water. So I think he really has to not necessarily make a statement, but they have to just show some life. So yeah, give me Louisville easy.
Hey!
Consensus pick.
USC's terrible.
Wait, quick question, because you mentioned it. Do we think that there's going to be any leeway given to head coaches that are transferring from the Pac-12 into like Big Ten or whatever other conference that they're moving into?
Well, I think USC's
can't.
locked into Lincoln Riley, to be honest.
Yeah.
They gave him too much to
him
give
too
up
much
after
to-
a year or two.
Yeah.
It was the $100 million, the house, and the private jet, like lifetime access. So they gave him so much. I think
Dude,
they have to
yeah.
do it. But I mean, this is not surprising. The way USC played, we talked about it all year.
Could put
It's not
together a
surprising to
miserable
anyone.
Football squad for all that.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln Riley
Give
is
me Caleb Williams and I'll just
the fact that they won 7 games with Caleb Williams as their quarterback is the most ridiculous
Tragic.
thing I've ever seen.
Tragic.
It's
tragic.
I actually don't know a coach who could have done worse than that. 7 wins with the number 1 overall pick. That is
Consensus, yeah.
it's so bad. So bad. But yeah, consensus Louisville. I guess we're all
This
right.
is Louisville -7. Yeah.
Next game, big bowl game, the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Oh,
Big bowl game.
Big game, marquee game.
Big
NC
bowl.
State, Kansas State, ranked matchup. Kansas State 2.5-point favorites, total 47.5. Mario, I'm going back to you here. Which way you leaning in this?
I mean, I just can't get enough Kansas State.
Ooh.
Kansas State -2.5. I think they could win by like 10 or 13. Like I love Kansas State in this spot. Also love the over. I think NC State can put up a fight. I just think like Kansas State's going to put up points.
Yeah.
They're going to roll points, and more points. NC State, it's a good year. I mean, you can't have everything, and Pop-Tarts are way too good for them. So
Oh, Pop-Tarts are too good for NC
amen.
State.
yeah, too good.
Amen.
So
Loves
it's got to be
Pop-Tarts.
Kansas State.
Gotcha. Michael.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, Kansas State offensively is pretty much better in any relevant stat that you can think of or look at. And then defensively, they're pretty similar, if not a slight edge to Kansas State. I mean, this is just the most Kansas State line of all
They
time.
do not have their players playing.
Yeah, but
Which
like,
is why I love it even more.
yeah, I mean,
Because the spread's so small.
it's just
I mean,
One thing.
Well-
They did last
wait,
week.
so your pick is Kansas State then?
my pick is Kansas State, but also really, really quick. Kansas
Yeah.
State is 8-4 against the spread, going against NC State, who is 6-4-1. Which
They're both very good.
I think NC
both
State's
good.
probably played more than 11 games.
yeah, that is.
I don't know if we can rely on those.
No,
numbers,
no,
but-
no. The 8-4 is definitely correct.
You got one.
8-4 for Kansas State. That is
Sure.
definitely
all right,
correct.
I'll take
Sure.
that.
So bang,
I can live
8-4.
with
That's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those NC State numbers.
And 66%.
The one thing I would be wary on when comparing stats between teams in 2 different conferences is when you compare them to the entire college football as a whole. When you talk about offensive production for Kansas State, you got to remember they're playing in the Big 12. So the Big 12 has no defenses at all.
Oh, I see
so
what you're saying.
all offensive stats in the Big 12 are going
Texas.
to be inflated. I mean, even the teams score points on Texas. I mean, Texas is great. Don't get me wrong, but there's a whole lot of other teams that
Sixth
they
best
played
rushing
with no
defense in the
defense.
nation.
I love NC State plus the 2.5 here. I think their defense is going to really stall Kansas State. We've seen Kansas State come up short in some big spots this year. They don't have, like Ryan said, a lot of players playing at all, and I just like getting points here. Something about this, I just think they went outright. I don't believe in Kansas State. I think their numbers are inflated. I think people are going to look at the stats like that and bet the favorite. Give me the underdog here.
Yeah, this is the Brennan Armstrong I was talking about. He's been balling all year, and I think they went out right, like pretty easily too. I don't know. I've bet on Kansas State a lot this year, and they've scored a lot of points. Done great. They don't have Will Howard, right?
No.
Will.
So I think Will Howard has single-handedly carried that team, and I just think without
You
him,
heard where he might be going.
no chance. But
Ohio State.
no chance.
I mean, you would love that.
I would not like that.
Big improvement.
No, I'll
Big improvement from last
Big
year.
improvement.
I know we have players.
Mid
We'll be
McCord.
We'll get to
Conduct
Ohio
work.
State on Thursday.
We'll
yeah.
be fine. But yeah, I just think NC State can win this outright easy, and I do like the under. I don't think it's going to be a defensive game. I think NC State's good on defense, but I like it.
All right, Tate, we are split 2-2 right now. Break the tie.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with the last two guys. This is going to be NC State the easy way. Kansas State is just. I think they're going to be dead. It's like USC without their quarterback, without the captain of their ship. They're going to sink big time.
Captainless ship.
And NC
Go
State,
ship.
Brendan Armstrong is the starting quarterback, and they're just going to feast on a guy that hasn't played all year at Kansas State, and he's going to try and hide behind that offensive line, and it's not going to go well.
I love it. I love it.
Bad.
I mean, everyone's going to be on the points.
Bad.
We'll see how that line shakes out. Last game,
I mean,
we
they
gotta
have
talk
no
about-
Will Howard, and they're still favorites. I mean,
I know.
just give me.
We'll see what happens. Valero Alamo Bowl. Last game we're going to talk about today. This game is on Thursday night. Arizona, Oklahoma. Actually, a big game.
Oh, yeah.
Very big game between two teams
Should be a
that
good game.
are very good. I mean, Arizona's unbelievable.
Yeah.
To end
Yeah.
the season,
Oh, yeah.
they almost
Caught
made
a lot
the
of people
Pac-12
by
championship.
surprise this year
Oh yeah,
because no one expected
their
them. That freshman quarterback.
quarterback
Noah Fife.
Fafita.
That's my
Fafita.
sneaky team.
Yeah.
I love
Absolute
Fafita.
beast.
That's your sneaky
Next
link?
year, I like the preseason props for him for Heisman
Oh,
next year. His
wow.
stats
I'll be
go
all over Arizona
crazy.
next
He went 23-5.
He's really good.
Insane.
Arizona -3 against Oklahoma, total 60.5. Ryan, start with you in this game. Where are you leaning?
Oh, I love Arizona here, especially for the fact that Fafita's playing and you're going to get your first look at Arnold. I just think, I mean, Jackson Arnold's really good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be very good in the future. I just don't think it'll be for this game. I think Arizona scores a lot of points, and I just don't think Oklahoma's going to be able to keep up. They also have a ton of people that are opting out, going to the league. So, and the transfer portal. So I just love Arizona -3. They've been doing me well all year. And I'm going to take the over just because, Arizona, Oklahoma, they just score.
Yeah.
Fafita's going to Fafita. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Tate, are you right in the Pac-12?
Yeah, I actually could not agree any more than that. Arizona.
You're riding with Ryan.
No, I'm riding. This is
Really?
First round.
Right.
This is insane.
I'm ready.
Fafita is gonna
I'm ready for the
love it.
Oklahoma text right before the game.
I love the over. I love Arizona's team total over 31.5. I love Arizona -3. I mean, this is gonna be awesome. First game for Jackson Arnold, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna see. I don't know. Maybe he's the best quarterback ever. I don't think so.
On the first game.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. First game.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun game. A lot of points. Love the points.
Yeah, I thought exactly as you two did.
Yep.
That's why I started with you. Literally for an entire month until yesterday when I started looking at the game. I was all over Arizona. I'm like, oh my God, Arizona's favored over Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 10-2. Arizona's Pac-12 team with 9 wins. If they're favored, this just means Arizona. But when Dylan Gabriel transferred, the more I think about it, I think Oklahoma's going to be playing for their dog, Jackson Arnold. This is his first game starting, true freshman. Oklahoma has 10 wins this year. They lost 2 in a row, back-to-back. They've been good ever since. I really love the points here. I think Jackson Arnold is a dog. He was ranked much higher than Fafita was coming out of college. He's a 5-star. I think he's their future. Venables has a month to draw up plays for Jackson Arnold in this game. They knew Dylan Gabriel wasn't playing regardless whether he's going to the league or transferring. I think he's going to be ready to go. I love Oklahoma in a rout. Rout. A murder.
Dude.
80% of the bets and money on Arizona. Everyone in the world is just Arizona.
A freshman starter came in, routed the
First game.
In bowl games, we'll
Especially
see.
a top 15.
Everyone in the world's on Arizona here on the spread. Big fade the public play for me. This is my biggest bet on the early games. I think Oklahoma just handles business.
Yeah, I could not disagree more. I think, it's what you're saying. It's like you were saying that his boys will rally behind him and kind of just push him to start. I mean, you're completely correct. Jackson Arnold looks like a star. He looks like he has all the talent in the world to develop into something amazing. With that being said, they're also losing 2 of their starting running backs. They're losing their offensive coordinator, and they're also losing 5 defensive linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many gaps on that team. Granted, I do think they will be strong coming into next year, but you need some time to develop, and you also very, very importantly need experience with the guy who's handling every single snap. I think to throw him into such a big bowl game is a lot of pressure. And I mean, college is different. It's not high school anymore. This is time that you need to step up. And without having that kind of spotlight on him ever before, I don't know if he's going to be able to live up to it. Granted, Arizona is also playing with a few losses on their team, like everybody is. But I'm putting my trust in Fafita here, or Fafita.
All right,
Fafita.
Mario, where are you leaning?
I got to leave with Fafita over there.
Fafita.
Yeah, I'll keep it short, but yeah, I love Arizona -3, simply for the fact that their quarterback's playing. This dude went toe-to-toe with teams this year that, I mean, no one saw him coming. And
No.
I mean, it's like beat USC, played Washington tight, Oregon tight. I mean, like, those are some of the best teams in the nation. I'm just going to ride with this dude to.
I don't think he beat USC.
They went to overtime against
Or
LSU.
overtime. But I mean,
That was my
He
coming
beat-
out party for
but
him.
He
then-
beat Utah, right?
They beat everyone except for
Okay, yeah.
SC, Washington, and Oregon.
yeah.
Okay.
But they were in every game. Like it was completely close. So yeah, I just give me Arizona -3, and yeah, give me the over simply because I think Arizona always scores, and I think Oklahoma will put up points.
Wow. All right.
Wait, really quick. Do you guys know where this game is being played at?
The Alamo Bowl?
Yeah. It's being played.
Texas.
Well, it's
Assuming
in,
it's in
San
Texas.
Antonio, but it's at the Alamo Dome,
Wow.
which I thought was electric.
Wow.
So buzz,
Michael
buzz.
said
electric.
That's a good stat right there.
that's-
Alamo Dome.
This is funny. Out of the 5 of us, 80% are on Arizona, exactly matching public money and percentage. So
That's 'cause
we'll
we're
see.
sharp.
That's how sharp we are. We mirror exactly what's going on.
We
in
know
the
Vegas
world.
better than
Follow our lines.
I usually suck.
Last
so,
game
but-
we're going to talk about Thursday night football in NFL. Thursday night football coming at you hot. The last pick
Thursday.
the last pick.
Night.
Football.
Jets at Browns. Cleveland -7 at home on Thursday. Total 35.5. Tate, starting with you. Great game.
Yeah, I mean, great game. And as for a guy that took the Jets unders last week,
You're going back to the well?
I mean, it's 35.5.
You gotta go back to the well.
I mean, at the Jets, they've only had, now 2 games go over 37.
It's at Cleveland.
Exactly.
Oh, it's at Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Over.
Flip flop.
Over.
I am riding the Joe Flacco train.
Oh.
I love the Browns.
Yeah.
The Jets, I hate the Jets. The Jets stink.
Yeah.
This is not a spot. The dog pound is going to be rocking like it has been all year long. The Browns actually might be good. I mean, we were talking
It's
about.
going to be
we
like
were
a
talking about this-
9/11, like planes going down type deal.
What?
That's 2.
That's strike 2.
That's not.
He was talking because of the Jets.
Yeah,
Because of the
Jets.
Jets.
Get
Wait,
it?
I don't
So-
think you made that connection till
That is 100% why I made the Twin Towers planes crashing
that's
down.
strike 2.
Oh,
Strike
okay.
2. We're almost done with the episode, so just
Hey, you're so
hold
close.
it together. Tate, finish that thought.
So we were talking about on yesterday about
Shocked.
how is there any elite quarterbacks in the league right now? Is anyone playing that well?
Joe Flacco.
In Tyler's head, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
give me the dog pound and the dogs. I will take Joe Flacco and the Browns -7.
Wow. Ryan.
First off, Amari Cooper, if you're listening, I already sent you a gift package in the mail. Thank you for taking me to the fantasy championship in all my leagues.
Yeah.
I love you. You're the GOAT.
What do you have, 46 last week?
52.
52.
You're amazing.
Light.
Light work. And
How he was on the waiver wire.
Tyreek
Yes.
Hill.
I picked him up. I picked him
Criminal.
up.
Criminal.
Shout out Antonio.
Arrestable offense.
I love it. I mean, shout out Antonio.
Yeah.
But
Friend
I
of the pod.
love the under in this game. Crazy defensive game. Cleveland, I think this is that big game where it kind of reminds me of the Bills. Cleveland have to just win. They just win and they can inch their way to the AFC. I know it's not crazy, but AFC 1 seed is possible. Still.
It is.
It's still
They're one
in
of
their
the
back.
3 teams still able to
them,
get the 1 seed.
Dolphins and the Ravens. So I just think all they need to do is win as whatever it takes. And I think this Jets defense is going to cause some problems for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the under. And just because of that, I'm going to take the +7 with the Jets.
Ooh.
Because my taking the -7, the fraction is so small if I love the under. So I'm just going to take the plus the points. I think it's going to be a game where Cleveland's in control, but the Jets just hang around with their defense, and it's a gross game.
I
but
could
the Browns
totally
win out.
see that, yeah.
But it's just because Browns, it's kind of like I don't know. It gives me Bills Chargers from last week, where the Bills just need to win.
Yeah.
Even though it's a 12-point favorite, they just need to win. Nothing changes. I think the same thing. Cleveland's going to win the game, but I just think too many points. Touchdowns, too many points.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think Cleveland wins the game, and I love the Jets +7. I love the Jets +7. But what I disagree on, there's a lot of points going to be scored in this game.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I think Cleveland's going to be able to score, and I also think the Jets, whether on offense or defense or special teams, will score points as well. The Jets scored a lot of points last week. As we know from Tate's Mortal, the Browns' offense has been awesome with Joe Flacco, and their defense has been playing amazing. I think you could have a couple defensive touchdowns in this game. Don't need too many to go over this number. But yeah, I love the Jets here. This should be a spot where the Browns just roll over them. I don't know. Gut feel. I like the Jets. I'm taking the points, so side the total, Jets and the over.
Yeah, Ty, I am going to double down on the over here. especially after last week and how explosive Amari Cooper looked. And then also Breece Hall did not play bad. Granted, it was against the Commanders, but like,
Yeah.
he kind of looked somewhat back to form.
You
just-
could have probably run for about $120 on the Commanders.
Oh, I mean, I could probably run for like 200, but I'm
better than Brees.
I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete.
He's an athlete.
That's the first thing people say when they hear you. And, like,
When they look at Mike.
athlete.
Specimen is
Specimen.
usually the word,
Absolute
but
specimen.
definitely taking the over is my main play. But Browns are playing for a playoff clinch, and I think they're going to be able to roll. So I'm doing a lighter bet on the Browns -7, but definitely taking the over. I believe in points. Points.
Round
Points.
Round us out, Mario.
Round up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Jets plus the 7 here.
Yeehaw.
I totally agree with you guys. I think Cleveland's gonna win this game. I in my head, and it's kind of similar to what Ryan said. Like I just kind of see the Browns winning by like 10. For a lot of the game, maybe some weird like 13, and the Jets just like late touchdown, and they kind of keep it within.
Browns won.
But yeah, I mean, and especially because the Jets won in such a dominating fashion last week. Like I feel like a lot of their team's going to be kind of rested, because they didn't really have to.
Jets?
Except for the last.
Well, I mean, they made a little bit of.
I was
a
going to
sweat.
say it was a
the
sweat.
last
a little sweat,
4
but,
minutes
like,
he had
they
to
almost
actually
lost that
play.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, classic Jets, but
That was amazing.
Sandwich.
Win.
For the first or the third quarter, they
like,
didn't have to play.
Game-winning
I know, I
field goal
know.
from 50.
Yeah, they were down.
Yeah, they were losing.
but they were
First
like
3 quarters,
they were
benched their
coasting
starter.
at 3 quarters.
It was a coasting, then a sweat.
but like also a never doubt sweat.
I love an
They were
never doubt
always
sweat.
winning. And then
Were they?
Browns.
I don't think they were.
In his theoretically.
No, but they were always winning the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were never gonna lose.
It was written
Gotcha.
in the script.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mario has a script.
I didn't read that part.
Yeah. And then Cleveland, like Ryan said, they just have to win, and don't let this Browns team get hot because Joe Flacco. Listen, say what you want about him. That playoff run that he had with the Ravens,
He's done it before.
many
flocking.
moons ago.
many moons ago. Four scored 85 moons ago. Listen,
Abraham Lincoln.
big throw Joe. I mean, he just let him get hot. Let him go on a little playoff run. I don't know. I kind of like this Cleveland team. They're built really well. Just like a well-rounded, oiled machine.
First round exit.
Well, maybe not. All I want to say is one of us gave out Cleveland to win the division preseason.
That was sharp.
I think it was like plus
Yeah.
350. I'll have to check the
Well,
ticket.
I mean, your reasoning was a little different, wasn't
bet
Joe
it twice.
Flacco?
Yeah, I mean, if Deshaun was on, I would be loving my bet, but
I think they proved me more right than not. My logic was that their defense was amazing and Deshaun will kind of carry him. It didn't matter what quarterback was playing. They've been winning games all season. But yeah, if that hits,
Hot take, Joe Flacco better than Deshaun.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Hot.
I don't even think it's a hot take. That's
Deshaun just wants to
Joe
go to
Flacco's
Europe.
the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
He is. His stats are unbelievable.
better than Lamar.
Yeah, well, Joe Flacco for MVP.
Ooh,
That's
Put
what we're
him on
ending
the
the pod.
ticket. Put him on the
give him
ticket.
comeback player of the year.
Give him odds.
Actually, yeah.
Easily.
Actually, yeah.
Damar Hamlin.
I forgot.
God.
His-
Oh, yeah,
Dead
Damar
silence.
Hamlin played.
Mike, you have 2. Be careful.
Yeah,
Careful.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no,
gotta put him on timeout.
the word.
1 minute left.
That's how we're ending the show.
Yeah.
That's how we're ending the show
Sucks.
before we have to cut anything out, extra footage and all that. Thanks for watching. Tune in Thursday and Friday. We have a huge college episode coming tomorrow.
Huge
NFL on
game
Friday.
tomorrow.
Tate,
Massive.
before the people close out the window, tell them what they have to do.
Hey, boys and girls, like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend because we're going to hit this Mortal Lock Parlay eventually. We're going to hit it eventually.
Yeah.
This week. And turn that notification bell on so you don't miss a beat.
Not a one.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for college.
So Damar Hamlin dies.